So I don't know if you've seen this. You might have heard one or two of the results, but did you see there was a few friendlies, very odd ones, going on while the World Cup was on?
I know we played in Norway before the World Cup. That's the one I heard of.
No. Club friendlies.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that Arsenal beat Lyon 3-0.
Yeah.
And then also beat them on penalties after it.
What?
They're doing weird stuff. I'm nearly sure Vietnam played a club as well.
Oh, Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, even weirder than that, Will. Talk about, what is this, a crossover episode? Notts Forest, the much maligned by us Notts Forest, played our old boys at Tromados and lost.
Lost. I tell you, if ever there's a sign there's a club getting relegated from the league.
Oh, if you lose to one of the worst teams in the Greek league, I mean, that is not good. I don't care who's missing. If you're a player of a Premier League club, if you're on the books at a Premier League club,
the under-23s should be beaten. What we saw of a Traumatos last year,
oh my
the Greek
God.
League,
they had
the
nothing.
under-23 should be.
They had absolutely nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the pictures first. It was I thought he was it was Chris Coleman, and it was the manager of not first. I thought, oh, that's where he is now. Is this? I was like, that must be what's happened. He must have been sacked. I just didn't hear the World Cup, but now he's managing. Assistant managing in the Greek league or Tromados.
No, he's losing to them.
No,
Much worse. They spent 200 million in the summer. And a lot of those players are not at the World Cup, let me tell you.
Oh,
Lingard is not at the World Cup.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
I think to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Carl and Will. Quarterfinal chaos edition. Chaos spelled with a Q, like guitar in quarterfinal. That was. Is it always like this? Is it always this dramatic?
It doesn't feel like it.
Or is it like, is it just the most intense recency bias I've ever felt? Because this is the best World Cup that there's ever been, no question. And I haven't even watched them all.
But it feels like there's no way everyone has the recency bias. There's definitely level-headed people talking about football out there, and even they're like, "This is ridiculous."
It is very ridiculous, isn't it?
Even the dull 0-0s end up in the most dramatic penalty shootouts I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of it too, that there really isn't any of the knockout games. There's always been something, in every game. We obviously are getting everything wrong every week.
We were talking in the pub on Saturday. I think every single thing we called in the last episode is completely wrong.
But we're calling the favourites. What do you want us to do? We're saying Brazil will win.
One time we're using our brain.
We're saying Brazil. We're taking the coldest takes, the most lukewarm takes of I think Brazil will probably beat the team they play next. It's nope, they're going to play terribly and go out.
Yeah, wrong.
I mean, I don't know where to start. England and France is, I don't know, we said France, I suppose, did we? I'd imagine.
Yeah, we said we wouldn't be surprised though if England managed it.
I think it was the Mbappe versus Walker thing, and we said they don't have a chance because you got Dembele and you got Giroud and you got Griezmann. So we were kind of right because they all did play well, and they did manage to stop Mbappe from doing anything amazing, but it was the other players on the day that made the difference.
There was one moment in the game where Mbappe absolutely smoked Kyle Walker in the wing. I don't know if you saw that. He just turned and was gone, and Kyle Walker was grasping for him.
Yeah.
So, all that talk, and then literally 20 minutes into the game, it's like, nope, not going to happen. Yeah,
and again, no disrespect to Kyle Walker, it happened to many a man, but the best one-on-one defender stuff, that I'm glad that stuff, will never have to be said again. I mean, you have to imagine you won't see Kyle Walker at another World Cup. What are you, 32 now?
Yeah. I was thinking I'm still seeing takes like, oh, the golden generation, this is the team that's going to do it. It's like, this team's nearly done, boys.
Yeah, a lot of them are in their peak now. This was a big
You're not going to
chance.
get better than this, I think.
I did see a stat. I know we like to have a go with Gareth Southgate and how, the England, it's coming home stuff is just like, they never learn. Apparently, from 1986 to 2016, England won 6 knockout games.
Mm.
And then Gareth Southgate's led teams have won 6 knockout games.
Yeah.
I think that's right. That's a bad stat. That's a bad...
No, it is. I've seen the stat. It's essentially he's done as much as they did in the 20 years before.
Yeah, that's... if I can find this out again, I'll rectify if it's wrong. But that's essentially it has been... Yeah, there's been lots of golden generations, like say, look at that team in the 90s when they had Scholes and they had like Tony Adams and people that we call legends now, And then obviously the one with Rooney and Gerrard, Lampard and Terry, it was like, wow, how did that team not win more? But I think it's all relative to who's around at the time. And there's a lot of good players. Not that they weren't good players, but there's a lot of good teams around at the time. Whereas the teams now, like versus what England have, it's definitely their best team, if you know what I mean. Like versus the other international teams and the level that they're at as well, it's very, very good. So they came up against a better side though, I think.
And it felt like, even though we were talking, like England have kind of been there now. They've been to the final. They've been in the trenches a bit.
Yeah.
France have been in the trenches and then won it. So I think it's like the little extra last step. I mean, if the shoes on the other foot and fucking Mbappe is stepping up to take the Kane penalty, I don't think he skies it.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching...
No, he could miss. It might be saved, but I don't think he fucking skies it over the bar like that.
Yeah, it is funny. I don't know if I should say this or if I can say this, but on Saturday was your engagement party.
Yes, it was.
Well, me and Will are getting engaged. We're getting married, so
yeah, finally, it's happening, everyone.
I don't know what you want to say the fun. No, Will's had his engagement party. Strange move, Will, to propose at the start of the World Cup and then have an engagement party during the quarterfinals. But look, we'll roll with that.
I can't control what the World Cup is. You're probably in the summer.
Like you didn't know the World Cup was happening. Anyways, well, I'm not here to I wasn't like, I want to bring up this thing. I want to have a bone to pick with you. I wasn't doing that. I had a story behind this. But you did know when to propose. I'm just saying. No, look. I was watching the first half at home, obviously.
Yeah.
It starts at kind of 8-ish. So we were almost there. It was almost done. My significant other was also with me in the house, waiting to go in. Not a football fan, not a fan of football or soccer, what that crazy thing that I like. So it was like going, and it was obviously loads of extra time, and then there's the Kane penalty, and I was like, oh, okay, look, regardless of this is win, lose or draw, we'll go in after this. If it goes to extra time, we'll go in. She says, but we're in extra time. So there's extra time after the extra time. It's like more than the 10 minutes. There's 15 minutes either side of this. And then if that's a draw, we go to penalties. And I said, but it's okay, we can watch that in the pub. And she's like, for fuck.
Yeah.
She said, I cannot wait for the World Cup to be over. I never felt like such a meme boyfriend in my life. I was like, I'm living like a kind of, I love football and she doesn't. I was like, this is hell.
That's how it is.
Is this what I've become, But yeah, we did go in after the missed penalty. So it was like great for everybody, I was happy, she was happy, It was mad. When the penalty skied to go over the bar, it was my dad, he said to me, he's like, geez, it'd be tough to take 2 penalties against your club mate. Which I didn't think about at the time. I was like, yeah.
Training with.
He's kicked how many penalties against Lloris? Like he scores the first one, Lloris goes, well, I know which way you're going to go now. I know where you go the second one. Like that has to be in your head.
Hit them, Harry.
Yeah, he knows that he's going to try to hit it extra hard because he knows that I know that he knows. Like it's rock paper scissors on like World Cup level. It's very, very difficult.
It was funny after the penalty. All the French players were obviously just overcome. And they all ran up to Lloris celebrating as if he had saved it.
I thought that too. Yeah.
It's like he didn't do anything.
He didn't do it. He put him off by playing with him for years, I guess.
He did go the right way, but he didn't do it. It was funny watching that in the pub because there was like a screen, and then the party was basically on hold as the game went on, because it was too close.
Yeah.
It was like watching it in the stadium in the French end. because it was like lines of people back,
Yeah.
all glued to it. When the penalty missed, it was more celebration in the pub than when Ireland scored against, was it Italy in the Euros or Germany in the Euros?
Italy. Robbie Brady.
Way bigger celebration for Harry Kane missing that penalty. The relief in the pub, you could feel it.
Yeah. There was a few of those videos going around, ones in Scotland, ones in Wales. I mean, in a way it's like, oh God, like to be an English fan, like I just like not get it, you know?
That would drive you insane.
It's just it's the way they're taught in school. Is that like we're the underdog? Like, you know, we're the plucky underdog that everyone loves. You know, you're taught to love the underdog, which is us. And then anytime you do anything, you open your mouth, people just like rejoice in your failure.
Yeah. I mean, the shot of Mbappe laughing and then the shot of the child crying in the stand, it felt like even the camera crew were like, oh, this is unbelievable stuff happening here.
Yeah, the Mbappe laughing, I thought that was weird. I thought
he's mental. He's a very unprofessional man.
He's just not a very nice man, is he? I mean,
no.
You know, it's like if it was someone like Salah or, you know, Hernandez, who played in England and was like abused by certain, like someone like from a big club who goes around, you know, and then they see England lose and all the people, I know you from fucking...
Yeah, I remember you.
I remember your face from October, pal. I know what you said to me about my mother, you know. At least that'll be in your head. And, you know, these kind of psychotic sports people do kind of hold on to grudges, and that drives up. Like, Mbappe's has he ever set foot in England? You know, I don't know.
Never. I did see on TikTok there was a clip of Mbappe going to shake Jordan Henderson's hand before the game.
Yeah, that was
Henderson
good. Yeah,
blanks him. It's like, oh.
One of the milder bit of shithousery that's been lost in this last weekend. He was clearly like, "Hey boys, let's shake hands." And they were like, "No, we're in the zone." He just laughed. He's like, "Oh yes, rattled already."
Yo, you are psyched out, pals. Look at me, I'm relaxed.
Yeah, like he's just...
Hope you don't get a penalty, Harry.
Yeah, so he did get the upper hand mentally, but he was loving that. He was loving that as much as all the Irish, Scots and Welsh combined. But yeah, I don't know. They had chances as well. Harry Maguire had a big chance.
A tough game, I think, for a good few England players because did nothing wrong. Saka played really well and was taken off, not sure why. But that has to be tough to be like, I didn't even do anything wrong this time and I'm still going home.
Yeah. Well, I suppose there's two sides of it. It's like, would you rather be England and just like actually everyone in England bar Harry Kane, who I don't know if he'll recover from this. This is what we're saying. The World Cup in the middle of the season. How does he go back now to Tottenham and go, right lads, let's really make a push for this top four?
Yeah,
like
that was so close.
How do you like? That's what they're realistically looking at now. I think from what I remember from the Premier League, it feels like years ago. But you know, because they're so good and Arsenal have the lead and it's whatever, it's like that's third place, boys. That's the goal. You're like third place. I could have had it all.
Is this my life?
Like in that same game, he equaled the record goal scorer for England. Misses the penalty, and now he'll be back in training in a week, and they'll be talking about, you know, Southampton away, and just like how like the come down. It'd be just like, how do I care about this?
I mean, think of the next cup game they have. He goes into training the day before. He's like, all right, penalties today, boys. For about half an hour. He locks eyes with Lloris. He thinks, oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one for him. But I think for all the other England players, would you rather be them or would you rather be the Swiss players who like, this is it, boys. This is our moment, and just get blown out and go, wow. We were like,
and then the team that blows you out loses the next game. It's like, what was going on with us then?
Yeah, it's hard to know. So maybe by playing well and doing their best, go, look, we just beat my better team. Wasn't our fault, except for Harry. Let's all go home and, you know.
Look, lads, we all did our best, most of us.
Maybe someone like Harry Maguire, like, listen, I played really well, you know. And he takes that, goes back and says, from where I was to where I am now, I'm pretty happy. Maybe it just depends on the player, you know, but...
I did see immediately after that game, I've never seen so many of the English fans turn on Harry Kane. Have you seen that stuff? I saw 2 separate videos saying not a single goal he's ever scored has ever actually mattered.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's a common take I'm seeing now. Because, like, yeah, he scored 300 and something goals, but whenever it counts, you don't see him.
I did see a few things, and this does kind of track with like general football fans in England, anyways. That apparently there's a song that Tottenham sing about Saka let his country down or some shit.
Yeah.
Never heard that before, to be honest. And then,
I
like,
remember that from the US.
fucking right. And like now we're saying Harry Kane that just current. I was like, yeah, good idea, lads. Like,
they play for you. You're all the one team.
Immediately turn on them, like, you know, it's such a weird kind of
the Southgate as well. They're immediately like, I knew it. I knew he wasn't good enough. That he should have scored that penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's done well, and it's I don't know. It's hard to know. Do you stick with Southgate now, and you go, no, there's young players there. There's Phil Foden and Saka. He's going to bring them through, or do you go, no, we need a fresh look. Henderson out, Pickford out, get them out. They're finished. They're done.
I saw he was thinking about his position because he's like doesn't know where to stay or go.
Yeah.
He said he's going to give it 2 or 3 months, is what he said, to like really think about should I, because his contract is till the end of the next Euros.
Okay,
but I mean, what happens then? Like, why? Like, the World Cup is the big one. By the time the next World Cup is coming around, it's going to be fucking a lot of new players in. This is your squad. This was the one, really.
Yeah, no. In 4 years' time, it's like, you know, those predicting ones, like predict the team in 2026, and they have like Nathan Redmond or whatever, who's
Mason Greenwood.
They'll be 30 by now, you know. But like in that same time, someone who's 16 will be a 19-year-old wonder kid. So like you never know, and you don't see those players unless you're like religiously following the youth leagues. And yeah, who's got time for that? We all got lives, you know. We do have some bits of our lives you don't need distracting from. Okay, I don't need to be totally immersed in something else. So yeah, we don't know. Well, I mean, I know we like to take the piss out of Gareth Southgate. He has done pretty well, but he's had good players. There was, like, say, taking Saka off was a bit weird, maybe. But when you have players on the bench, you have to use them.
Yeah, it's not like they were a mile off. Again, like, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
If he scores that, then it's extra time, and then who knows? Like,
yeah. And it was a great goal by Dutchmen, I must say. After me saying, I think English midfield probably got the upper hand. Boom. Mashes it in the corner.
Drew as well. Everyone we talk about is amazing in the next game.
Drew's over when we said Harry Maguire would have his hands full, and he did get the. I did say, for someone who's not that good in the air, he's a good finisher, old Drew. And then
bang,
heads in off Maguire. So it's half right. He's like, I beat Maguire in the air, which I said he wouldn't do, but I did say he's a good finisher. So I mean. It's mad that he's just going to keep extending this record now, isn't he? He's going to get like 10 goals clear of the next person.
It'll be until Mbappe breaks it, whenever that'll be.
You know who France play after the World Cup, their first international game after the World Cup?
Us.
The boys in green.
We need them to win this World Cup. They need a serious hangover going into that game.
Yeah. But they'll be right back.
Imagine us against them now. My God.
Imagine it now, watch it in March. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Jesus. But they were like, the English media talking like, I think Kyle Walker can handle Mbappe. Do you think Seamus Coleman has Mbappe handled? I think Seamus Coleman in his peak wouldn't be able to handle Mbappe. Because no one can handle Mbappe. So, yeah I don't know. If we play the wing backs, we play Seamus Coleman and Matt Doherty, you know. On the same side. Forget about Dembele, lads. We'll just focus on Mbappe. Yeah. So yeah, France go through. I'd say definitely, no question, the best team left in the tournament now after the other results. Surely to God, yeah. Most amazing game, I think was Argentina versus Netherlands. Possibly ever.
In Mexico 1986. And now, as then, they are inspired by number 10. Dutch Orange, finalists in 2010, semi-finalists in 2014. And here, after a brief hiatus, heavy hitters once again. The crafty creation of a canny veteran coach Van Gaal, who may, into his 8th decade, still have the ultimate day, the ultimate say. great intercontinental rivalries, few as vivid, as resonant as this one. They walk here just as their forerunners did, into the ticker tape of Buenos Aires, the steamy heat of Marseille, the endless night of Sao Paulo. A game for the ages of Cruyff and Kroll, of Passarella and Kempes, of that ball from De Boer and Bergkamp's balletic beauty, of then and of now. An album of memories, and tonight, an abundance of scrumptious possibilities.
That definitely has its own Wikipedia page by now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I think, if I remember correctly, we said that I think you said the Netherlands would win easily.
Comfortably, yeah.
Comfortably, and I was like, oh, I don't know comfortably, but yeah, I'd say probably 2-1 or so. I know what I said, but I remember thinking that this Argentina team, too many holes, they're going out. You know, they're going to kick Messi, they're going to put him out of the game.
We didn't think Messi would kick back.
Wow. He was a man possessed.
He is like a new man now. It's like, I really feel like the whole Ronaldo blowing it and wrapping it up, and he's like, all right, it's just me now, and I'm winning this fucking World Cup no matter what.
Maybe it's looking at Ronaldo and going, oh, this does actually end eventually.
Yeah, this is me in the next one.
he's 4 years older than me. That, like, you know, because he obviously keeps himself in good nick. He's always been the best player on the pitch. He's always probably believed that. You know, when you're that good, you don't kind of consider the end. You don't kind of consider that, like, maybe I won't be able to do this forever. And when you see your rival, the guy who's also the only person you've ever known who's the same as you, it's like,
can't finish anymore. Like, whatever about losing pace or power, he can't kick the ball as well anymore.
He can't finish. I think you're being a bit disingenuous now. He can still finish, but it's that half yard is gone. And I think it's just like the way, but like even the way it's unraveled on him. Like the people turned against him.
Yeah, so quickly.
Like where Messi, especially at PSG now, if you think we're surrounded by yes men before, like everyone loves him at PSG, stay forever, you know, sell t-shirts, sell jerseys. I think this is like, okay, this, I can't just like, oh, I'll win the next one. Like this could be the last one. You know, I might just show up to Argentina one day and go, actually, you're on the bench, Leo. We have this other guy. Julian Alvarez is actually the guy now. It's like, oh yeah, I think when he saw the Netherlands, he thought, this is a real challenge. This is a real tough team. The Dutch have an edge to them. You know, I got to get through this one. And he brought his own edge.
I've never seen him like I've never seen him so animated.
Yeah.
I've never seen him so aggressive. It was amazing. If he was playing that way his whole career, there would be 10 movies about him already.
He probably got injured.
Yeah, that's true. Someone would have kicked him back way harder.
Exactly. That's what happened to Jack Wilshere. He was that kind of like, oh, I'm aggressive in that, and just like they all kicked him at once, and now he's retired at 30.
Yeah.
You know.
He reminded me of it was kind of a performance that you'd see from a big NBA player, which is like, obviously has the talent, but also has like this insane attitude at the same time, like starting on managers and the ref and calling people fools in interviews and stuff. You never really see it in football.
Yeah, I mean that interview where he apparently, do you know who he was looking at?
No, I actually don't.
Weghorst.
Stop. He's like twice the size.
Hey,
what are you looking at, you fool?
Big Weghorst was going by, give him the stink eye, and called him a bubble, which
that's so cool.
Apparently is like fool or dummy or dum Aegis, whatever. But I said, what are you looking at, fool? Keep walking, fool. What are you looking at?
So gangster. And there was he did the Riquelme celebration.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That's a deep cut. Jesus.
Yeah, like he's been holding on. He even went up and was mouthing at Edgar Davids.
Yeah, apparently, this was part of it as well, that Van Gaal was talking a lot of smack, trying to wind him up, saying that, you know, he's got no personality, he's not a leader, he's like that. So Messi was 2002 Riquelme, how that end? You know, like he went way back in the archives to find something that would, you know, this is for him. Do you think, like, he's such a like obnoxious man himself, and I think he even remembers that Riquelme instance.
He had no idea what was going on. He just thought, the cheek of him celebrating.
Ears classic for something. For what I said probably. It's like, no, remember
he's doing the.
Do you remember Riquelme in 2002? It's like, no, that was 20 years ago. I don't remember that. What? He doesn't remember that. He looked that up. He was a child then. He doesn't remember that either. And the game itself, Messi scored a penalty, didn't he?
Messi scored a penalty and an amazing assist for the other goal.
Oh, the assist for the first goal was ridiculous. The angles from that were unbelievable. Again, Will, that was a half at home, half pub situation because I had to go to a Christmas party / retirement party. Right?
Oh.
Not a big footballing workplace. And, it was 2-1, obviously. And it went on forever. Extra time. But let's just have the speech now for the retirement as the game's on. I was like, this game's wrapped up. When it kicked off the most. So I was like, side of my eye watching the game. I was like, yeah.
Oh, Messi's going to do it again.
The business started on the big. That was the Van Dijk, fucking running.
The shoulder. Oh, that was amazing.
And as they're talking, it's the free kick. It's that free kick in the middle of the return speech that no one's watching but me. And I just let out this yelp in the middle of the speech because I was like, oh,
he went short.
Where was the original office? Oh! That's what I was reacting to.
It was funny seeing the free kick where he went short and the guy scored. Because you know who should have been on? I can't remember who it was who scored it. Was it Weghorst who scored that?
It was. I don't know how you'd miss the 6'6" guy with the... Talk about big... Great touch for a big man. That was the ultimate touch for a big man.
But you know who should have been standing in front of him? The guy lying down behind the wall. Stopping it from going low.
Yeah, how did that work? How did he get it, how did he get around in?
He just kicked it beside the wall. And then the guy was like, oh shit, I make it up.
Was that a pre-planned move, do you think?
Apparently there's a video of, I don't know if it's the Dutch team or Weghorst scoring basically an identical goal not too long ago.
Right.
So they know it works.
He had that in his locker. I mean, no one's expecting you to kick it to Weghorst's feet. No one in the whole stadium.
Even just the whole thing of football is that there's no way all of these huge ego players are going to go short from this free kick. They want their World Cup moment.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, unless you're David Beckham, you're not getting in from there. You have all this Argentina. You have 10 men who are ready to put their face in that ball. It's not going in. You want to win. If Weghorst says, I got a plan, and I can do it, I've seen you once, Weghorst. I've only seen
some Space Jam.
I've only seen you that move once, okay? You're crazy, man.
Run the Weghorst.
Run the Weghorst. Run the route. Did you see him after the game trying to shake hands with Messi?
No, I didn't. He get blanked.
I'm not sure after the game. Was it before or after the interview where he called him a fool and to keep walking? What are you looking at, big man? What you got, big boy? There's a clip of Aguero. Tell him to shut up. Shut up. Did you ever see that? No?
No.
He's like, I just want to shake his hand. I was just looking at him to shake his hand.
I just want to shake his hand.
I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake that man's hand.
I want to shake his hand. That's all I want to do. All I want to do.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say that was probably after the incident with Messi. And then everyone said, get him, because they all want to protect Messi. And I was like, I wanted to get his jersey after the game, It's hard to remember even the exact, fucking series of events. What happened first to you?
Well, the ref was handing out yellow cards left and right and centre. It was kicking off during the game because we talked about the Van Dijk checking Paredes into space.
Yeah, into space. So the Messi scores the goal first. Or no, Messi gets the assist for the goal first. I
think so, yeah.
Who was that score? Was it Acuna who scored? Lacuna?
I'm not too sure. I think so, yeah.
He scored, and then I think they went 2-0 up. Did he go 2-0 up?
Yes.
Messi scored the penalty after that. Was the penalty good? Oh, yeah. The Dumfries penalty. That was shocking. Barely touched him. That's the kind of thing that would send you wrong.
Yeah.
Especially when the refs dish out yellow cards for nothing, and then they get a penalty for nothing. You're like, here, Messi scores a penalty. Messi's World Cup all over again. I guess there's nothing we can do. And then the equalising goal from
Weghorst, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Weghorst with two for Weghorst. I love that meme, like the really crusty memes. And it was like Weghorst looking up at like Sean Dyche in the clouds, like, how am I doing? How am I doing, boss? It's like, you're doing it right, son. 2 goals for Weghorst in the World Cup quarterfinal. Who would predict that? Like,
so the big incident that really kicked the game off was. I think Paredes cleaned someone out of it with a tackle.
Nathan Ake, I'm very sure.
Yeah. Went sailed into the air, landed on his head from a slide tackle. And then Paredes, instead of getting up and walking off, being like, wasn't me, I didn't touch him, lashed the ball at the Dutch bench.
Yeah. He absolutely lashed at them.
That's crazy. I'm surprised he didn't get a red card for that. Yellow for the tackle, then yellow for obviously inciting a riot.
Yeah, because then obviously there was a bench clearing from the Dutch. And at the same time, 6 foot.
Yeah, he's focused on all the boys running at him.
6'4" Van Dijk's making a beeline for him. Making a beeline for the ring and just chest him into oblivion. I know. He sold it well. He did sell it well. Paredes, because he's like, yes, I've got him sent off. I was thinking, you're past that, pal. You're gone.
You started a war here, mate.
And he got away with this because the referee. I don't know what happened.
There's so much going on though. You're busy writing his name down the book up. You look up and there's fucking 12 lads on the pitch that shouldn't be there.
Like I say, I was at a Christmas party trying to, find out why.
Of all the games to have watched.
I know, to find out people who were how long they're working there. No, I'm actually, I'm Liverpool getting now. So I did miss that game, unfortunately, a little bit, second half. But I was watching the main bits. I saw the main bits. The penalty shootout itself,
Unbelievable.
Obviously, everyone's talking about the picture, where they're all celebrating and they're all, I know,
doing the baby face.
Do the baby face. Alexis McAllister's face is really impassioned. They must have said something really mean to him. He was so angry, running so angry.
Where are you even from, mate?
He's from Donabate. If you listen to RG commentators, they mention that every time he gets the ball. Donabate roots. He's Irish.
Should be playing for us.
He's one of us. If they win, we
He's
win.
playing for the wrong team. Him and Jude Bellingham.
Yeah. Harry Kane's ancestor from Connemara. But yeah, the penalties. The one man you do want in goal for penalties is Martinez. He's a great shot stopper. Head the ball.
Yeah, an absolute lunatic. Loves psyching players out. And he's good at saving penalties as well. So he's the ultimate player for a shootout.
Did you see his interview after the game?
Emi Martinez, you are the hero of all Argentina. Can you sum up your feelings after that tonight?
Oh, it was a tricky game, and I thought we controlled the game really well. We went 2-0 up. Basically, we controlled the game. The ref was just giving everything for them. All of a sudden, they get a good header, good flick, which I couldn't see it. And then it turned upside down. The ref was giving everything for them. He gave 10 minutes. For no reason, 10 minutes. He was giving free kick outside the box for them 2-3 times. He just wanted them to score. That's basically it. So hopefully we don't have that ref anymore. He's useless.
Okay, but when you got to the penalty shoot,
so you said the penalty. How much do you feel? He goes, the ref. He just goes straight to the ref.
Shut up.
And then the commentator is like, okay. And I didn't ask any of that.
The penalties were made because a lot of people saw the picture with the bit making fun of the Dutch players.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, I don't like that now. That's too much. But what had gone under the radar, because it wasn't on camera much.
Yeah.
There was just yellow cards and red cards coming out during the penalty shootout, and the commentators were like, oh, there must be something going on. It was because the Dutch wouldn't leave the Argentina players alone.
Yeah, that shot from the overhead one.
The sky camera.
Yeah. The clip I saw anyways, it was after the Dutch scored their penalty, which is the first one I think they scored.
Yeah, I think so.
Did Van Dijk take the first one and score, or did he miss?
Yes, I believe so.
A lot of penalties, a lot of big penalties, a lot
of big moments.
A lot of accusations of cowardice flying around. It's hard to remember who was captain, who scored and who didn't. But if I'm right, I think Van Dijk scored first, and then he was so then all the Dutch players cheer and run out towards the goal. Yeah. And then they clock the Argentinian guy walking up towards the penalties, and 3 or 4 of them are getting his way. Right. Oh, where you going, pal? Don't miss the penalty. Psych him out. All I know is that they did it for that one. I'd imagine they did that for every single Argentinian player.
Yes, exactly. So
when they won, they were really reveling in that victory because they've been just shithousing the whole game. But I was thinking this is totally just my imagination and not real at all. But I like to think, Will, right? I didn't see much of this from Corey Gapco, right? And he's a young lad, he's thinking in the back of his mind, I'd really like to get a Messi jersey. This is definitely the last chance that I will get probably to play him. You know, I mean, I'm at PSV. I don't know where it's going to go, but the likelihood of me playing PSG, this is a big chance. So they was all like kicking off, and Van Dijk's like running into him. He's like, can we just all play our own game? You know, he's like, he's watching it become more and more like, you know, nasty. He's like, I'm not getting that. Fucking, come on, let's just play a good game of football. That's not, you know, because he didn't do anything the whole game. I thought, Cody Gakpo was going to rip them apart. Fucking, you know.
He's also like, very publicly is like the next guy on the move. Where's he going to end up?
Yeah. So
he doesn't want to be shouldering someone, and then 2 months later he's like, "Don't sign him." Do you see what he did to me?
Yeah, you never know, but that's totally made up. That was just my head. I thought. What do you think of him? Like, not like some of them probably wanted the Messi jersey, but like no one was getting anything off any of those Argentinian players after the game.
That's probably what Weghorst wanted.
He just wanted to shake his hand. I want to shake that man's hand.
Shut up.
Shut up.
I might be going in the new intro music whenever we update it.
Shut up. And actually, another prediction. I said Cody Gakpo was going to rip it up. Another prediction, I said Lautaro Martinez having the worst. His head's gone, I said. Steps up for the winning penalty.
Biggest moment of the World Cup.
Fucking nails it, man. Freaking nails it. Fair play to him. That could be huge to them to have him just like, I know that like scoring one goal doesn't fix all your problems, and it was a penalty, but
that's
a lot better that he didn't miss it, you know.
Oh yeah.
If you say he had missed a penalty and they progressed again, he went, why does this nightmare ever end? I can't score. They keep playing me.
Another public humiliation for Martinez. He's starting again today.
Yeah, it really is. That's one thing we got right. It is the Messi World Cup now. For sure. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much of it.
To the point where I was watching it with Orna here, not into football at all, but I was like, we're rooting for Messi, just so you know. And when it ended, she was like buzzing just from the excitement of it. And she was like, come on, Messi.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's what it's like in the stadium. People are like, they're just like, World Cup, this will be unbelievable fun. And then as it goes on, you're like, oh my God, I wanted to win it more than life itself.
Yeah. But you know what it was like when he got the ball in the first half anyways? Is, you know, at the preseason games when, you know, if it was an Henry or Rooney would have got the ball, and then all the Japanese fans were like, just because he's touched the ball, like, that's who we're here to see, that guy. It was literally like that. It's like a preseason excitement, except it's like the biggest game of everyone that pitches lives, and everyone just cheering to see one man play. It's crazy. It's like, you know, you see those like kind of old like black and white documentaries of like famous people in the past that people like queue up to see it. Everyone just wants to see them. Yeah. It's like they also had just no lives back then, that they were like obsessed with this man. Like, here we are, like all the distractions in the world, that we're still doing the same thing.
I mean, you know who I feel for? Morocco, because I have never seen an underdog so much in my life that no one is actually backing to like want to get any further. It's like, no, I mean, I'd rather see the best player in the world win rather than these like this incredible sporting feat.
Yeah, they're calling them the new Greece
on the street,
defending their way to the World Cup final. I guess the Greece only won the Euros. This has been much more impressive from Morocco.
They're the first African team to get maybe to the quarterfinals, definitely to the semi-finals.
Let me ask this, Will. Right, I know you got the finger on the pulse culturally and all things, political, geopolitical, all that stuff. They keep saying
that's what they say.
This will be huge for Africa. I'll tell you what's huge. Africa.
Yeah.
Do they have like a sense of community with other Africans? Do they care like if a team like thousands of miles away is in a competition?
That's a great question. I mean, whenever France win the World Cup, I'm not like, this is massive for the EU. Yes.
I mean, I get it's like they don't traditionally do that well. And it's like, well, if an African team can do it. But like, do they really have that kind of problem? It's like, it's more the money and the resources that we can't channel into. It's not that, seeing an African team do it has broken down the barriers mentally. It's like, no, I mean, if we had the same money that France or England do, I think we'd probably do pretty well. It's not like because we're African, we just can't do it because of where we're from. It's like, no, like surely a real footballing man from like Ghana or the Ivory Coast, we don't have the same resources. Not even close.
Yeah.
Do you know? I just feel a little bit passionate. You'd say, "Oh, this would be huge for Africa." It's like, fuck off! Like,
it'd be huge for Morocco.
Huge for Morocco fans. Like, it's not going to be anything for a neighboring country. Oh, now it'll give them so much inspiration and belief that they can actually do something with their lives. You know, it's like,
if I know anything about living in a country, I would say everyone surrounding Morocco hates them. That's how it is here.
Yeah. They're like seething with jealousy right now, more than like, oh, I'm so inspired by the neighbours that I hate.
Then we definitely can.
Yeah, I know. Like, listen, there's a very good chance I'm totally off base on this, but when I hear it, I go, you definitely don't know anything about Morocco. You definitely don't know anything about Africa, for sure. Because I don't know anything, and, you know, that's enough for me to make my mind about what you know. But look, fair play to the Moroccans. Rock the crossbar. Casablanca. Actually, you know what's back? Casablanca's back in cinemas.
Really?
80-year anniversary. They're showing it over Christmas.
I've never seen it, I don't think.
Man, we should go.
That would be
We should go watch Casablanca. I'll wake up when it's over. I know you hate all the black and white films, but
we do the Christmas episode from the cinema because I'm telling you, there'll be no one else in there.
Oh, that's it. You're uninvited. I'm going on my own. I'll do a solo episode. I'll upload on Christmas Day myself.
Yeah, the director's commentary episode.
The idiot's commentary on Casablanca with Cathal O'Toole. Yeah, look, Moroccans, they'll be ripping it up in Joe's Place, I think is the name of the bar in that film. Maybe not Joe's Place. It's something like that. It's like some American owns the bar. Anyways, tell you who loves Morocco, Kevin Doyle. Like we said on the last pod, he had the Fez on when they beat Spain. And this one he was going deep dive how good defensive they were.
I don't know if you saw that Kenny Cunningham also had the Fez on. Breaking news. They both.
No, yeah, I did hear that. Apparently, there was just they had them ready. They must have gone into the RTE.
The prop
department in RTE. Just
into the den.
Weird one. Do you have any like those Fezes? You know, the little red. Yeah, the red Moroccan hats. Yeah. No, it's for a bit if they win. No, I know it's unlikely. Just ask if you have them. You know, don't need to get your all.
No, I know a bit is weird for the punditry.
What the bit is that we wear the hats and sorry, I didn't know I had to actually explain the bit before I got the prop. I thought you could just get the prop as employee or.
Well, I saw that game. Did you see that game?
I did, but I can't remember it.
I'll tell you why you don't remember much, because there was a lot of defending going on.
Yeah, very defensive.
There was a lot. The same as the game before against Spain, where Spain or Portugal threw everything at them and nothing could get through.
Yeah.
They've conceded, I think, 1 goal so far in the World Cup.
It's Canada.
To Canada. Their only goal ever in a World Cup.
Yeah. That's going to be a pub quiz stat, isn't it?
That's the only thing I've learned from the whole preview episode we did.
In what game, in what World Cup, did the winners of the World Cup concede 1 goal?
Morocco.
To the country that's only ever scored 1 goal. Like, you have to word it better to make it less obvious. But yeah, scoring 1 goal and conceding 1 goal in the World Cup. I mean, that's a weird one if that happens. But the way they play, imagine if they are going to win it, that is how it's going to go down. It's not going to be a 4-3 thriller.
There was one brief. I would say the best few, even with the amazing Argentina game, the best few minutes of football I saw was the 3 or 4 minutes following Morocco's goal, where Portugal started to freak out and desperately abandoned all tactics and tried to score right before halftime because we're like, we cannot let them settle.
We can't go into halftime losing this. Yeah,
amazing. It was like 11 players get the ball, sprint towards the Moroccan end, lash it. They kick it out, go again. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then the whistle went and I thought, this game is over.
The Moroccan goal was good. The man got up so high. He was like, you know, and of course it cuts to Ronaldo. It's like, remember you used to do that when you were playing?
Yeah, loser.
He knows that the camera's on him all the time. It's like, oh, now they're going to look at me because I used to jump high. Yeah, that's it. Hey, buddy. Yeah, on the bench still. This is exactly what he said, though, to be fair. The 1-0 down, there's obviously no plan from that manager. Yeah. He's a fraud, man. Another fraud.
Yeah, bluffer. Absolutely.
Like I say, when the goal went in, there's no like, okay, lads, calm down. We know we've prepared for this. It's like, no, they hadn't. They hadn't prepared for anything.
Oh, yeah. You could tell they were like, we're all, Just try and score, I guess. While the manager's desperately shouting something at them from the sideline.
Yeah, do that, score.
Where's Ronaldo?
Like Pepe got a great chance and it went wide. You saw your man kiss his head afterwards. Another underrated bit of shithousery.
Start. This World Cup has just been full of incredible moments that you're not going to see in any other tournament.
No, you won't even think it's real. You'll see that and like a meme, you go, that's probably out of context. That's just for likes. No way that actually happened. That's not what happened. It is, folks. So let this be a point of record. That is what happened.
The moment was so quick that even Pepe obviously didn't notice, because I'm sure if Pepe realised he was having his head kissed by the other team, he would have fucking decked
for missing. No way Pepe would have stood for that. But it does kind of show like that was one of their main plans. Like, well, Pepe scored the last game, maybe he can do it again. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah. Like, imagine they were playing France or someone decent, like attacking wise. Yeah. You know, like obviously Morocco were excellent defensively, but like they just had no plan to break them down. You know,
it was unfortunate that obviously you have to bring Ronaldo on. We need the goal. It's like, it's still in the 68th minute. Which you mentioned, like, he's looking at us. You have to.
Well, he's there.
He can score.
He's there.
He's there.
Like, that's just the presence of the man. And he had a great chance. Great save. The goal actually did very well as well, to be fair to him.
Yeah, really good.
Great save from Ronaldo. How many times do you see that gone in from over the years? So that was a huge moment. But his confidence has to, I mean, I know he is Mr. Confidence, but surely his confidence is a little bit knocked.
It has to be.
You know, so.
I mean, it's so tough to. All the stuff for United, you do the interview, you get what you want to leave the club, you're like, now I'll show them. The World Cup, shocking tournament for him. I mean, to be like benched and then your replacement scores the hat-trick and then, what now for him? Like, I think any other player is retiring.
Yeah, it's a bad way to go, but it wouldn't be as bad as when Zidane went that time.
That's true, yeah.
You know,
what a way that was.
I think he finished. I was last year with Real Madrid, and then he did the World Cup, headbutt that guy, and never kicked the ball again professionally.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be as bad.
A disgrace.
I think in France there was like, he was right to do it. You know, we don't take no shit. We don't play that over here. Yeah. So good on him. And he'd won the World Cup before. Whereas Ronaldo was like, but I think a lot of the flack. Surely, I don't know. I haven't read the Portuguese headlines today. I will know if you have, but surely that manager's come under some flack. They had nothing. They had no idea what to do. Like, you know, he came into the tournament with all these players. He'd never identified that maybe, you know, they're a bit more fluid without Ronaldo. Played him anyways, but they're like, I got to change this. And then it was when he came off against South Korea and he was mouthing at the South Korean players saying, you don't have the authority to tell me to hurry. And then I think the manager used that as an excuse. He went, I thought he was saying that to me, so he's off. It's like, all right, like, you didn't have
You've caused the scene now that you didn't need to.
You didn't have the stones to say, listen, you're benched because I'm the manager. Yeah. You had to make up this weird lie that no one knew was true. And then when they played and they couldn't score, they went behind, you had no plan, you brought me anyway. It's like, what, like, you know, that's down to him.
Yeah, if your plan is you need a goal against this amazing Moroccan defence, and you have him on the bench, but then your answer to it is bring him on. It's like, well, why didn't you start him?
Yeah, if that was, you know, it's just...
Surely start him and then bring him off to change it.
Something anyways, but there was no plan. Going into the tournament, he was, you know, you could see what's happening at his club. Sure, you were meant to be following that. But look, we said they'd breeze through that, I think. I think we said they'd get through it. I mean, they won 7-1. What does it think? Or 6-1.
Yeah. It was the same with Brazil. We were like, they're the best team by a mile.
Yeah.
Solid Brazil, we said.
There was no.
You won't catch them losing.
Nobody said Brazil would get through that. No, we don't know. Nobody said Brazil would lose that. That was a great game. I know it was people will look at that and they'll say, no goals. It was a shite game. But like, it was actually a quite enjoyable game to watch. Croatia are pretty good. I think literally the only thing they lack is a striker. They do have pace. They do have legs. What was I saying? I was talking absolute nonsense about that before, saying their legs are gone. Not a chance.
Modric as good as ever. They can drag a team into extra time like no one else I've ever seen.
Well, I think crucially they can hold on to the ball themselves. They don't just give up possession and then try and defend and poke the ball away for 90 minutes.
They're not locking it down like Morocco. They are equally having as much chances as you are. But they're just really solid at the back as well.
They can pass around. I think, like I say, it's up front. They don't have a a lot of options. I might be mistaken in saying I think that was their first shot on target, that goal they scored, the equaliser.
I believe, yeah, I think I saw that as well.
So that's the only thing. They do stay in the game for so long and so well because they have great players who can hold on to the ball and they make chances, they make runs and they have pace. But if that final ball that doesn't go to anyone seemingly and they just never get a shot on target. Brazil, like we said, they were not the perfect team. They obviously were very good, but they weren't the perfect team. And after the game, I don't know. I personally wouldn't be the biggest fan of Neymar, but I thought he scored an unbelievable goal. And then afterwards,
ridiculous.
One of the great World Cup goals.
Yeah.
Well, to bring it back to my Mario Kart analogy, who's going to remember this? Because they're not even in the same final. Like they're finished. They're flying home. But point being, right after the game on RT, anyways, they just started like analyzing how bad Neymar was in that game. It's like, all right, fine. First of all, he's definitely injured, definitely carrying an injury.
Yes.
So yeah, his 1-2s and his jinks and jives, they're not quite coming off. But did you see the goal he scored to put them ahead?
Yeah.
He can only do so much, man. That was an extra time.
Their only goal of the game.
He wasn't like beating at the corner for the other goal or something. It wasn't like he didn't track back. That was the defense.
Yeah. You
can't blame Neymar for that. That's what I saw him.
No, yeah.
But not a Neymar. That's the only thing I thought about that. But look,
the penalty as well. He's gotten a lot of flack for. I think we're in the same camp on this. Is that the fifth penalty is way worse than taking the first penalty.
But it's just the thing is like you need to lead in the front, and you take your penalty, and then now you set the tone. But the pressure builds as well.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're in the top 5 to take one, Vlasic goes first, then Miar, and then Modric went third. Yeah. No one's saying, Modric waiting for to be ahead, were you? Yeah. Waiting for the easy one.
Easy third one. Yeah,
the easiest third penalty. Everyone knows that,
Yeah. 2 chances before you, 2 chances after. You're safe.
There was a great moment when Casemiro scored his, and then picked up the ball and just like made eye contact with Modric as he had the ball, look up the whole way up. I couldn't see what Modric's doing, but Casemiro was like wryly smiling out and just like pushed the ball in his chest, and Modric like didn't flinch at all. He's got the ball and stuck it in the corner. I was like, that is fucking World Cup right there. That's the fucking World Cup. Lads who like won it all together, and then they play for your opposing countries. They know every bit about each other. And it's like, yeah, fucking beat that.
I know you. I remember the penalty you missed in training, pal.
Yeah, they've talked about like different things, like, do you want to take a penalty and you go at that, like, that he knows all this stuff, and then he pushed the ball in your chest. That was sick, I thought.
But it's just it's so harsh to be like, he's not a leader, he's not this, he's not that.
It's the fucking, he wants to be the hero at the end. It's like
come on. He's scored like 1 million goals for Brazil.
Yeah. It's funny because it's such a high bar for Brazilian players, I mean, even beforehand, I'm not having to go at you, but like you said, as in like he's never really done it for Brazil. I was like,
he's never won a World Cup.
I was like a passing kind of thing. Like that's kind of what that's kind of conventional wisdom that he probably hasn't gone. He hasn't done it for Brazil because it's not. You haven't won the World Cup. You're not one of the greatest players ever. Yeah. I think the biggest thing for Neymar is injuries. To be honest, he has struggled hugely with injuries, particularly at PSG. Like every Champions League comes around, he's in the stand with like a mad dangly earring or something. I was like, there he is,
doing the face.
Has like some
the panics were getting knocked out again.
Face. Yeah, that's an annual thing. So it doesn't help that he's always like dressed like an idiot and then also injured. But I think he could have been one of the greats if he hadn't struggled with injuries. He has all the ability, all the talent. In hindsight, we're like, why are you leaving Barcelona? You're just like so selfish. Maybe he knew more than we did. We were like, I gotta get out of here. This is not good for anyone's career. I gotta get out of here before it really goes south.
I think he's still in court over that transfer.
To Barcelona from Santos, the third and fourth and fifth parties or whatever it was. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of them. I mean, Richarlison, Rafinha, even Vinicius Jr. They had great games in the South Korea game and in the group stages, but not so much in this game. I thought it's
tough to imagine the rest of the World Cup without star Richarlison now.
I know, star boy himself.
What a tournament for him.
No one's going to remember it, I'm telling you.
No.
This is the thing.
Bicycle kick, that's it.
The bicycle kick, the goal against South Korea, that performance against South Korea, it's going to be lost and like no one's going to remember it. But yeah, unbelievable performance by Croatia. A wily team, as I said. I stand by that. But also pretty fast and really good football. And wily. Who else did we have there? Who's in the other games? We cover all the games there?
That's all of me. That's for them.
So
we'll look ahead.
Yeah, fuck. It's really narrowing down, isn't it?
It sure is. There are now 4 teams left.
Because I was just thinking this before, right? That first week in work where there was all the games on, I was missing so many of them. I was like, oh no, I'm going to miss all these games. It was only for the 1 week. I should just take it off.
Yeah, I thought the same. Someone else in my office did that, and I remember at the time being like, just watch them at work, mate. You didn't have time. There's 4 games every day.
Yeah, you can watch a little bit of work. If you are doing something, you can't watch the 10 o'clock, the 1 o'clock, and the 3 o'clock. Was that right? Is that what happened then?
And then sometimes the 7.
And then the 7 as well. Well, the 7 I used to watch at home, but like I used to get none the 10 o'clock. I used to get half an hour at lunch at 1, 3 o'clock on the ticker because it may be a bit slower in the afternoon. But like that was for 1 week. The next week then it was over because there's permutations were happening. Blew it, man. I should take that first week and really rock the people. We could have done 2 podcasts a week. Oh god. Anyhow, we're down to the final 4 now. Will, what are the matchups?
Yeah. So we've got one end of the bracket: Argentina versus Croatia, and then France versus Morocco.
Well, I'm thinking, if I were to be honest, I'd say that Croatia will beat Argentina. So obviously Argentina are going to win.
Yes, I think so too.
And then I'd say, well, of course France will beat Morocco. There's no way they go any further than this. So yeah, I'd say
therefore
it's going to be a Morocco-Argentina final. Looks like, folks.
Those are 2 very Argentina-Croatia. Could be a very good game because they're both. It feels like neither of them, even though they're at the semi-final, it feels like neither of them are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, but
they're getting through the games very entertainingly. So I think that's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think they'll be well able for Messi. I thought the Dutch were going to be kind of more experienced and they'll be kicking them and they'll be marshalling them. But like, there's not an awful lot of international experience in that team. It's young enough. Like even someone like Van Dijk, you kind of think of him as like, oh yeah, he's a really good centre back. You know, like on that team with Schneider and Van Persie, like totally different generation almost at this point. You know, so he doesn't have the same experience as them. He hasn't played internationally with those other players. I mean, I think they had De Ligt in there at the start. His career is just, you know, it's really sad to see, to be honest, the way he's just like, he's still got all the attributes. He's only like 23, but he just, you know, I think he lost the place in the end. So it was a changing enough team, is what I'm trying to say. So maybe they were thinking, let's just play our own game and let's try and see if we can get Cody Gakpo the ball, someone who plays out wide for his club. He's only playing essentially for Dutch now. So it wasn't in my head thinking, oh yeah, the old Dutch, they're well used to this, but this team particularly isn't actually that used to it. So maybe Croatia will be more what I was thinking of when I was thinking of the Netherlands in terms of the experience, and they go, right, we know what he wants to do, let's do our best to try and stop the challenge or whatever. So yeah, I honestly think Croatia will be able to manage it, but I think it'll be a really good game.
Argentina have been through a lot of very like high octane, passionate, last minute games. It feels like in this tournament where it's like they've given it all and they've gotten through again.
Yeah.
Whereas that's gonna be tough to keep doing that. Another extra time, another penalty shootout. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, but they're almost there, Will. This is it, semi-finals. If you can't get up for this, I mean, what was that courageous comeback and then not come back against Saudi Arabia about, you know? That's where it all started. Yeah. This is like Spain in 2010, losing their first game to Switzerland, coming all the way back. You know, they're on the wave now. What about the other game, Morocco and France?
It feels like the teams that played them have been underestimating them all the way through. Like Spain struggling to score, apart from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
When they come up against them, it was like, they should be beating them, but then they were just kind of passing it sideways for the game, couldn't get through. Then Portugal couldn't find a way through. But neither game came into it being like, Morocco are solid defensively. Whereas I think now France know what they're about.
Yeah, it's you look at the Spain squad, or the Spain team who beat Morocco. Oh no, okay, sorry. You look at the Spain team who beat Costa Rica in that first game. Like we were saying before, that was like the first game. Everyone's fresh into it. A weaker side like Costa Rica will suffer a lot more than Spain will.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's that tweet or that quote from Gary Neville being like, there's not goals in the Spain squad. And then everyone's like, shut up, Gary Neville, you twat, you know. And then like after that, they can't fucking they can't kick snow off a rope when it comes to scoring goals. Like, they could pass all day, pass anyone's business, but they can't score. So yeah, there wasn't goals. They did suffer with goals. Portugal, like we say, all the talent in the world, but clearly tactically inept. Like, when it comes up against the organised defence, they had no clue as to how to break it down as a team. They probably had like 3 different lads, like from Bernardo Silva to Yao Felix. We do it this way at our club. No, at our club, and no like cohesion at all.
They had a big looming cloud hanging over the team on the bench.
Yeah, so that was obviously a team that wasn't going to be very good at breaking them down. Croatia, that they had in the group, they love penalties. They're not a free scoring team either. And then you had Belgium as well, was the other team that they had in the group. So like, there isn't a single team that I think, oh yeah, like if they had played France and kept them 0-0, and now they were, on the other side of the draw, I'd say, no, they've come up against like free scoring teams and kept them quiet, but they haven't, So France are totally different in terms of where they are as a team and what they offered from all the other teams. So
Mbappe will just be like, I'll just run past them.
I'd be very surprised if they kept a clean sheet against France. I'd be shocked. I'd be absolutely shocked. I suppose then we'll time to look at the fantasy football.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So quarterfinal stage. Will, you've obviously taken the questionable decision to take over your team, make your own transfers, and it's paid off big. You are the top scorer this week for the fantasy.
Get in. I think I'm still pretty low in the league though, but
yeah, no, you are pretty low because you're not top scorer, not even close. You were
I thought
you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th worst in terms of scoring this week.
Oof.
So it looks like it's really paid off taking your own transfers. Will let's go through some players you had. Who did you have? Did you have Messi in there? No Messi. Oh, you had Kane though. Kane's a pretty good scorer. Mbappe.
I thought they'd get to the final.
Yeah. You Dumfries -3. Good pick, Will. Didn't think of subbing him off after that. No. I think he used the first game. I think of subbing him off, putting on Petrovic. You got 4 points on your bench. That's a 7-point swing there. Now, the robots look so bad now, is it?
I'd forgotten the different format for the international fantasy of being able to change it as it's going on.
Yeah, it's a mad format because the rules are very different. But it is quite funny. I knew Dumfries was obviously going to get fucked for getting sent off. So I looked at his scores, and the breakdown is very funny. Just the way they word it. Minutes, 120, 1 point. Seems unfair. Red cards, -2. Goals conceded, 2, -1. And then another -1 for penalty culprit. So you get punished for giving away a penalty. Penalty culprit, Dumfries.
Oh,
but also, Kane didn't get any minus points for missing the penalty.
Why?
Not one of the rules they have.
Surely he's the penalty culprit.
He got 90. This is very boring for anybody who's not playing the fantasy, but I'm just want to, for your own sake, Will, because you're doing so badly. He got 1 point for 90 minutes, 5 points for goal, and then 2 points for 4 shots on target. So totally different. And like I say, you can sub them off the middle. So yeah, if you have a robot, I would say use them. That would be my advice.
I'm going to go back to the robot.
I tell you what we should, Will. We should just page your brother to do this. He's humping the league, and it's not even close.
Yes. Any new listeners? My brother,
JB Styles 07 for all the fancy players. You can't see the names.
Yeah, all of us. He also won the Euros fantasy league we did. I think he stomped that as well. So he is on track of us spending near what, €100 on him.
Yeah, maybe a Christmas present, Will, this time. How about that? Yeah, he's on 274. Don't worry about it, on 260. So 14 points behind. Ooh. So he's extended his lead by 4 points.
Which is big when there's only like 30 players to choose from, it feels like.
And 3 games left.
Yeah.
It's as the competition narrows, the points inflate. The inflation on points gets very high.
The third place playoff is huge for fantasy.
Is that? Oh, I didn't think about that. So there's 4 games left actually.
I wonder, surely they count that.
They must. It's an official game. They have to. You've got Dream Mobile then 227. Everyone after that, Dream Mobile, Moyes Deep, Serbian on the plate, and then NN Gall 215. So I got to make up. Me and the robot, we got to make up a lot of points to not have to buy a jersey for anybody. But I suppose let's bring him in and see what he has to say for himself this week.
I'll get him in the call here now.
Well, there he is. Not a bad showing for me this week. Obviously, it was just yourself and myself this week. No Nonse-A-Tron. Will, you went out your own. How did you find that?
Look, I I'll be the bigger man here. I know technically you're not a man, no Nonse-A-Tron, but
yeah, I know what you're doing. You're going straight for that.
Listen, I was wrong. No Nonse-A-Tron, I'm sorry. I was right. I should have just let you pick the teams. I had a disaster of a week. I don't even know how it works. I forgot I didn't know you could change things. You obviously know that. You're programmed to win at this. So look, I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
Well, what's wrong? I am so shocked.
It sounds to me, I don't know if he's able to be sarcastic, if that's just how his voice
sounds.
It sounds like he's a bit sarcastic.
Again, I told you, the AI was from a sex robot, the voice from an 80s movie, so he doesn't have the kind of tones to show that he's shocked. When he said he's shocked, well, why were you shocked that Will was wrong? I mean, I'm not shocked. Why are you shocked?
I am not shocked. I was being sarcastic.
Alright, well now he's just being cheeky.
Okay, no, sure.
How's he even programmed to make jokes and be sarcastic? That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, I've fiddled around a lot, okay? I don't know where it started or where it ended, okay?
I've heard you fiddling around with
I off the mic with about this.
Something sex joke.
What? Why don't you do the podcast with him then?
Because
the No Nonse-A-Tron.
Because his voice is from an 80s movie be jarring on the listeners, okay? Your beautiful voice is the one that I'm keeping you around.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
True. You know that's not true. Why would you even say that? Listen, you're doing bad at fantasy. It ruined my reputation online.
I've seen the stains on
The stains. They're from the oil changes. That's nothing more than oil changes. You see me working on them. Don't try and mess it up now.
They're imposters.
I think to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?